Johnny Depp had always been drawn to mystery, but nothing could prepare him for what lay ahead. After years in the spotlight, he had retreated from Hollywood, seeking solace in a quiet coastal town. The world saw him as an actor, an icon, but deep inside he felt lost, haunted by questions he couldn't answer. One evening, as the waves crashed against the shore outside his secluded home, a letter arrived at his doorstep. There was no return address, only his name, penned in elegant script. Inside he found an antique key, cold and heavy in his palm, with engravings so intricate they seemed to shift in the dim candlelight. Alongside it, a cryptic message: "The forgotten cannot remain lost." He tried to dismiss it, but something within him, curiosity, or perhaps fate, compelled him to seek answers. Following the key's unseen guidance, Johnny arrived at an abandoned mansion at the edge of town. The house loomed before him, its wrought iron gates twisted with age. Legends spoke of the mansion's cursed past, a place where whispers floated through the halls and where the living had long since dared not tread. Pushing open the heavy door, he found the air thick with dust, yet something stirred beneath the decay, an unseen energy, an ancient presence waiting to be acknowledged. The key in his pocket vibrated with purpose, leading him deeper into the mansion until he found a hidden doorway. With trembling fingers, he inserted the key into the lock. The door swung open, revealing an eerie but magnificent sight: a vast, otherworldly library bathed in golden light. Rows upon rows of books stretched endlessly, their spines marked with names Johnny did not recognize. The air shimmered with an almost supernatural presence. He stepped forward, drawn toward the nearest shelf. As his fingers brushed the cover of a book, it pulsed beneath his touch. The moment he opened it, the world around him dissolved. Johnny found himself in the middle of a cobbled street, the scent of freshly baked bread filling the air. He looked around, bewildered. This was no longer the abandoned mansion. He was inside the book. A young woman with sorrowful eyes passed him by, whispering words he couldn't quite grasp. Images flashed before his eyes. Her life, her struggles, her untold story. He felt her pain as if it were his own. When he turned the last page, he was abruptly pulled back into the library, gasping for breath. The book now glowed softly, as if the story had been given life once more. One by one, the books called to him, each containing the essence of a forgotten soul. He saw their triumphs, their heartbreaks, and their untimely ends. They were not mere stories. They were spirits waiting to be remembered. The more he read, the more the souls reached out to him, whispering secrets of the library, of their fates, and, most unnervingly, of his own past. The deeper Johnny ventured into the library, the more he realized his own life was tangled within its secrets. Some of the souls felt eerily familiar. A name in one book sent a shiver down his spine. It was an old friend he had lost touch with. Another bore the name of an actor who had mysteriously disappeared decades ago. Was it possible that he, too, had been meant to be forgotten? A revelation struck him. The library was not just a place of stories. It was a purgatory for those erased from history. Forgotten lives, unlived dreams, unfinished fates. And somehow he had been chosen to uncover them. But why? The final book he touched was different. As he read, memories he had long buried surfaced. Moments of doubt, the struggles he had faced in his career, the pain of being misunderstood. He had spent years believing he was alone, but the library whispered otherwise. His story, too, was one waiting to be told. The souls began to speak to Johnny more clearly now, guiding him toward a truth he had refused to face. To free them, their stories needed to be told. One by one, Johnny began to write again, chronicling their lives, their hopes, their heartbreaks. As he wrote the final words of each tale, the books vanished from the shelves, their souls released from the library's grasp. But one book remained, his own. The library had given him a choice: to stay and continue releasing forgotten souls, or to walk away, finally making peace with himself. With a deep breath, Johnny picked up the quill. Weeks later, Johnny emerged from the mansion. The key still rested in his palm, its engravings unchanged, but its weight lighter somehow. He had made peace with his past, and in doing so, had given life to those who had been lost. Though he left the library behind, He knew its doors would always remain open, for those willing to remember. As Johnny walked away, a new letter appeared at the mansion's doorstep. A new name, a new story waiting to be told.